Welcome to the PHS Digestive System Review, Part 3. We will continue looking at the organs of the digestive system and the roles that they play in the processes of digestion. We cannot forget the pharynx or throat, which is the meeting place between the mouth and the esophagus. The pharynx is important to remember because it's the area of the digestive system that is connected with the respiratory system. In this area, food will pass during digestion and air will pass during respiration. For digestion, we can see that the function of the pharynx is propulsion, to move food from the mouth where it was ingested into the esophagus. Let's take a look at the animation. Here we can see as the chitin molecules which formed a bolus are moved through the esophagus by propulsion into the stomach. When we think about propulsion, we are thinking about the process of peristalsis, that rhythmical contraction of smooth muscle that will allow our bolus that was formed in the mouth to move through the throat and down the esophagus. So remember, the rhythmical contraction will move the bolus gradually down the esophagus and into the stomach. Once it's in the stomach, it is now going to be digested even more. Physical digestion will happen as the stomach churns. So as the stomach churns, it's going to mix our food, and in this case our food has been moistened and turned into the bolus, so it will mix the bolus with hydrochloric acid as well as mucin found in the stomach, turning our product in the stomach into acid chyme. So at this point, our stomach is filled with acid chyme. In addition to the physical digestion, so the churning and mixing that occurs, the chemical digestion of proteins is started in the stomach as well. So from the gastric juice, we have the enzyme pepsin. It will be secreted into the stomach through the gastric glands in its inactive form called pepsinogen, and when it meets the hydrochloric acid, it will be activated and turned into pepsin, which will allow the chemical digestion of proteins to start, and the proteins will be turned into polypeptides, so breaking up bonds and turning the protein into its polypeptide form. Our next function that we will look at is propulsion. So before that occurs, let's take a look at our last function, which is absorption. When we talk about absorption in the stomach, it is not of nutrients. So no nutrients are absorbed in the stomach. The absorption in the stomach will be of alcohol, some drugs, and water. No nutrients get absorbed at this point. So although starch began being broken down in the mouth and chemical digestion of protein has begun in the stomach, the nutrients are not in small enough pieces to be absorbed through the stomach wall, and therefore no nutrients are absorbed at this point. Once the water, some drugs, and alcohol are absorbed, the stomach has churned up the acid chyme and the chemical digestions of proteins has started. The acid chyme will leave the stomach and go into the small intestine.